Welcome back to Best of the Bets. I'm Christina Nicolaides and we're here to preview the best of Sunday and Monday's action. Now I have Gareth Walker, who's our bookie extraordinaire from Heaven Bet. Hello, Gareth.
Hello.
And Sam Dymond, who's our football expert and editor of bestofthebets.com. How are you doing, Sam?
Very well.
OK, so there's only one Premier League game on Sunday. It's an important one, especially for Aston Villa. It's Aston Villa versus Liverpool.
Villa, who could find themselves in the relegation zone by the time the game kicks off, depending on how things go on Saturday. They're 5 to win this game. The draw's 3.9. Liverpool 1.75.
I saw Aston Villa first hand against QPR, and I was impressed with their second half spirit, and I was certainly impressed by the performances of their attacking triumvirate in Benteke, Weimann and Agbonlahor.
But they don't seem to be able to do it over 90 minutes.
That is true, and they also don't seem to be able to do it at the back, which is where their problems lie. I think it's no clean sheet in 14 Premier League games, 19 in all competitions. They suffered a blow when Nathan Baker went off injured early in the first half. The much maligned Joe Bennett taking his place, and his error instantly led to QPR's opening goal. But Baker may be back, and that'll shore him up slightly, but not enough, I think, to keep Liverpool, because that fragile defence. Luis Suarez, he's had further controversy over the international period, but he could really run riot against Aston Villa on Sunday. That said, because I like Aston Villa as well going forward, I think goals are definitely the way to take this one. So I like over 3.25 goals at 2.3.
Good bet. Half of your bet there goes on over 3 goals. If there's exactly 3 goals in the match, half your stake is refunded, and if there are 4 or more goals, then your entire bet's a winner there. I think there'll definitely be goals here. I think Liverpool will have too much class for Aston Villa. Much as I'd like to see a Villa win to keep things exciting at the bottom, I think Liverpool at 1.75, it's not normally the sort of bet I'm keen on, but I just think they're too good here. I think they could well run riot against this defence. Been really impressed with Coutinho as well. He's been involved in 4 goals in his 4 starts for Liverpool. He's 6.8 to score the first goal, certainly be of interest there. The overs definitely, both teams to score, 1.7. Villa's last clean sheet, December the 8th. Everything points to goals, everything points to a
12 of Villa's last 14 Premier League games have gone over that 2.5 goal staple, and I think 14 of Liverpool's last 15 have gone the same way, and the last 4 games I think I've seen 4 or more goals scored, so it's hard to really rule.
It all points to goals. Liverpool have struggled against well-organised defences and have maybe struggled to break them down in frustration. Villa aren't that at all. Villa are going to have to be scoring.
They've relied on Brad Guzan a lot in goal lately, and I think he's going to have to have another top game if Villa are to get anything here.
OK, we're going to move on. Fulham versus QPR. Harry Redknapp believes they can still do it if they can get 5 wins.
Fulham are 2 here, even money to win the game. The draw's 3.5 and QPR are 4. I'll let the biased one go first with this one.
Yeah, and I will be biased for once. I think normally people will look at this and think Fulham haven't got much to play for here, but they owe their fans performance because they meekly surrendered at QPR back in November to hand Rangers their first win of the season.
Worst performance of the season.
It's the worst performance for many years away from home, and we've had a few. So they owe the fans performance, and
they owe it, but will it happen?
Well, I think they're in their best form of the season, and they've snuck into the top half on the back of 2 wins and 2 draws from the last 4 games. Very confident after winning at Tottenham, and I think it's no coincidence because it seems Martin Jol was finally settled on his first choice team, and there's been some impressive performance there. If they click here early against QPR, they could really, really do them a lot of damage. They won this fixture 6-0 last season. I'm not saying it's going to be the same, but I can see it being a comfortable win for Fulham if they get that early goal.
QPR also playing well though as well. They didn't get the result against Villa. With the fact that it's a derby, tense atmosphere, all the rest of it, there's too many questionables here. All cliches like the form going out the window and everything. I mean, Berbatov's been on fire, scored in his last 3 Premier League games. I think it's a while since that's happened. He's 4.2 to score the first goal. But all in all, I think I'd rather be taking QPR at 4 rather than Fulham at 2. So yeah, maybe QPR to nick it 2-1, 11.2. I certainly do think there'll be goals. My biggest bet on the game will certainly be there being goals in the game. Over 2.5 is 1.9, or over 3 goals, 2.55.
The next game we're going to look at, Chelsea versus Man United, is the FA Cup quarter-final replay.
Chelsea at 2.5, the draw is 3.5, and Manchester United 2.7. Both teams playing again within 48 hours of their league games.
It's the fourth time that they've met this season, and in the previous 3 matches, both teams have scored at least twice.
Yeah.
So again, you think there'd be goals in this one. United seem to have got the head start on Chelsea in each of those meetings, led at half-time in all 3. But in every single one, Chelsea have come back in the second half, rallied, and have equalised. Went on to win the Capital Cup 1 tie in extra time. And I think that it could be something similar, because United do get off to a flyer. But I just think Chelsea, they're such experts in the FA Cup. They won 4 of the last 6. United haven't won it since 2004.
Yeah.
This is Chelsea's competition. And I like some big prices here about United going in at the break in the lead and then Chelsea coming back to win it, because if it's level late on, neither of these two sides will want extra time, and the game could well open up and we could see goals.
The United half-time, Chelsea full-time combination is priced at 21. I think that Chelsea could be the bet here. I just think that Benitez will really want this cup, and there's a bit of a question mark as we speak now about whether Ferguson will be completely bothered about the league and think, well, actually the cup, if we don't win, we don't win. Yeah. He wants that Premier League so badly. Chelsea are only marginal favourites, but 2.5 is big enough for me to have an interest in the home win here.
Right, we are going to hear what Mike Holden has to say about this particular game.
So if it becomes a war of attrition, then I think as the game progresses, it's going to suit Chelsea more and more, I would think. But going into the game right from the off, I think United will take the game to Chelsea, and backing United to win the first half, for me, is probably the way to play this one.
So the bet Mike likes there is Manchester United to lead at half-time. Doesn't matter what the full-time score is. That's priced at 3.3.
OK. We are going to move on to Europe, and we are starting with Nice versus Marseille. So 5th versus 3rd.
Delighted that we've got a chance to talk about Nice, because it's the first time we've covered them. They're 2.8 to win this game. The draw's 3.1. And Marseille 2.7 to win at their rivals. It's
very much Nice as sort of the form team, really. They may have lost last time out to the bottom of the table, Nancy, but I think that's more to do with the fact that Nice have had a few injuries of late. They've had to field some quite young, inexperienced players at times. But hopefully for this game, they're going to be back to full strength, and their top scorer, 12-goal Dario Svetanic, should be back. He may not start, but you certainly expect him to play some of the game. And what we've got here, we've got Nice, who are very strong at home, and then Marseille, who've got a good away record. But Marseille's away record has very much been the points they picked up at the start of the season, because they haven't won their last 5 away from home.
Yeah.
Nice have won 8 of the last 10 at home, and they've won 12 of 19 since November. And I spoke to my best of the best colleague, Henry Millwood, who covers the league on for us, and he says for him that Nice are the most consistent team in France since that time. So I really like Nice here, and just Marseille. They back-to-back 0-0 draws. They're having trouble scoring. Gignac just isn't the player he was in the first half of the season. They don't deserve to be favourites here, and for me, Nice at 2.8 is a very good bet.
I'm in full agreement, and I really hope Nice do finish above Marseille. They haven't had a top 5 finish since 1976, Nice, but it'd be great if they do. Nice. If Dario Svetanic is back, then I'll be really getting stuck into Nice. I'd imagine that he will be on the bench, but I still make Nice a bet at 2.8. I just think the home advantage will be key, and I couldn't possibly trust Marseille in a game where
and Joe Barton.
Well, anything good from Marseille comes through Mathieu Valbuena, and if Didier Degas, who's the Nice captain, would probably be familiar to Middlesbrough fans, or possibly not, because he was injured so much there. If he can keep him
familiar
quiet
to the nightclubs, I think, Middlesbrough.
Then I think Nice can get 3 points there.
Never a lot of goals, maybe 1-0, 6.6. But I'll be cheering on the homeboys.
OK, so we are moving on to Spain, and we're moving on to Espanyol versus Real Sociedad. So both teams, great form.
Espanyol at 2.8, Sociedad at 2.7, and the draw's available 3.4 here.
Sociedad, I just can't speak highly of them enough, really, because the job that Philippe Montanier's done there is tremendous. And for me, they look the team now who are going to take 4th spot and the Champions League place. Won 6 of the last 9, which has included beating Barcelona and ending Atletico Madrid's 100% home record. Are unbeaten in 10, 1 defeat in 18, and that was very unfortunate at Real Madrid. They just look at a very fine team to watch at the moment. So for me, Sociedad are the bet here, but I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it'll be a good one to watch.
Well, I agree that I'm really looking forward to the game, although we were both unanimous with Nice. Yeah, I am. I've been looking to take on Sociedad because, I mean, they're really riding across the wave. They were very, very, very impressive against Valladolid. But I just think, can they actually keep that going? I know Sam's very bullish about their chances of getting that 4th spot. Yeah. But I've been looking for an opportunity to take them on, and I feel this is it because Espanyol have been impressive. Slight wobble lately, but at home as outsiders here, I like 2.8. I think there'll be goals. I really like the over 2.5 goals here, which is priced at even money. Yeah. So 2 for that, I think, is a great bet because I think there will be goals. But I think Espanyol have got enough just to nick it.
So last game we are looking at, we are staying in Spain, and Atletico Madrid versus Valencia, 3rd versus 5th.
Atletico 1.8, the draw 3.7, and Valencia 4.8.
It's an interesting game, and I think it's been an interesting encounter between the two all season because they were they matched level at the start of the season, and Atletico were always favourites for me. And it's kind of the changing of the guard now. I think Atletico have very much proven themselves now to be the 3rd best team in Spain. Yeah. Valencia did beat Atletico earlier in the season at Mestalla, but Atletico were the better side that day, and I think they'll be out for revenge here. They bounced back from losing their 100% home record with a very fine win at Osasuna, which is a hard place to go. Yeah. And while Falcao will make the headlines, it's Diego Costa for me who's looking a star at the moment. I really liked him last season when he was on loan at Vallecano, along with Michu, helped keep them up. So just Valencia are looking a bit stale for me at the moment.
I've had a real downer on Valencia for so long. I mean, they've had some decent results, but they've had a few red cards go in their favour. I think 3 and fairly recently where they've won games on the strength of a red card. I really like Atletico here. I'm glad that Sam's highlighted other goal-scoring options for Atletico because Falcao, worth remembering with all of these fixtures after international week, where have players been, how many miles have they covered, how fresh are they for these games. Falcao's been in South America for games against
Bolivia.
He also
hasn't scored in 3 games.
Venezuela. Yeah, I mean, it's not that these players are going to be tired, but where you've got just such slight margins for split seconds and millimetres and things like that are key for these big things, that is a player bang on the money. So maybe Falcao's not, but even with that, I still make Atletico a bet here. I do, though, also think that maybe it'll be unders with a goal for this one. Under 2.5 goals, which is priced at 1.9, is a bet I like here. But I think just fundamentally, Atletico are a better side than Valencia. Don't really rate Valencia. I think that Sam's point about it being a change in the guard is spot on. I think Valencia team on the decline. And yeah, I'd be definitely going for the home win here.
I think unders is a very good way to go because Atletico are so strong in defence. 5 clean sheets and 6, and in Courtois they've got one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. I just hope Chelsea don't notice that at some point and persist with Peter Cech.
Those clean sheets are fully deserved as well. They're hardly giving away any chances. It's not a fluke. It's not like they're withholding bombardment. They aren't giving teams chances.
And Valencia's 4 wins in the last 9 games may look good, but it's worth remembering. First of all, you've got that Betis travesty in there, and then you've just got 3 wins against the teams in the relegation zone. So
and then the one against Deportivo was a joke anyway.
So Valencia haven't beaten much for me at the moment, and I think Gareth said earlier about Liverpool. Sometimes you're loath to back at odds on, but sometimes it's a good bet nonetheless. And at 1.8, Atletico are a cracking bet for me.
So we've had our say, now we're going to hear from you. We have been asking you to tweet us at Best of the Bets. For Sunday's tweet, at Frontwards says, Aston Villa look a good price to upset Liverpool and move closer to safety.
So Frontwards is getting 5.
Okay, Afana Koku says, Super Hoops to win West London Derby on Monday night at 4 and continue their great escape.
Good luck to him. Let's hope he doesn't meet Sam afterwards.
Right, best bet, Gareth, for Sunday on Monday.
I really like Nice to win at home to Marseille, 2.8. Yeah, love it. Going for that.
Sam?
Yeah, that's the second time he's stolen my best bet.
This is not a good sign that we're in such agreement. It doesn't normally happen at all.
It's true. In that case, I will go with Atletico Madrid. I don't like backing odds on, but sometimes it's too good to pass up. 1.8.
Best bet, I'm going to do the FA Cup quarter-final. I'm going to go Manchester United to beat Chelsea. I believe it's 2.7.
It is 2.7.
Okay. So if you'd like to place a bet on any of the matches discussed and much more for all your latest odds and betting opportunities, then do head to our website, which is www.heavenbet.com. Remember, you can tweet us at Best of the Bets and we will read out your tweets live on our show. And you can watch this show back at bestofthebets.com. We'll see you same time, same place next week. See you then. Bye-bye.